What's up, everybody? Let's go. I would say, how's everyone doing today? But I know everybody's extremely excited. Let's go. Let's go. This has been a great day for retail, GameStop, AMC. Now, a lot of people are asking about AMC. I'm going to get into that a lot today. AMC had a lot bigger of a day than a lot of people think. I'm going to get to our dilution here today. Let me get off Steam quick. Okay, what did it just shut down? Jesus. All right, there we go. So we've had some huge stuff going on today. A lot of big moves here. GameStop, let me see what the price is. I haven't even checked today on it after a while here. So GameStop right now, you're at 31.13. You have another halt going. I got a lot of stuff to show you for GameStop here for a second. And let's just get into this stuff here. So I'm pretty excited here, but I gotta be kind of quiet. My wife is sleeping, so I would be a lot louder than this. But let's get into this deep fucking value. Roaring Kitty is back. He has been tweeting quite a bit in the last couple of hours. He did a couple videos here, and then he did this post 18 hours ago, and GameStop just flew ever since. It had like 4 million views, so I want to get into this a little bit and get into what's going on here what I think is actually happening behind the scenes. So one of the things here, obviously, whenever you get Roaring Kitty involved, he's going to make some big price moves here. So that's obviously a huge factor in what is going on today with GameStop and AMC. Now, if you look, I'll get to the Zach Morris thing here in a minute. Zach Morris 4 days ago did this exact same tweet, but for AMC. So, but let's get back into here in GameStop and the movement. Like I said, guys, I'm glad everybody's winning. I did make a little profit today on GameStop. Hopefully, it just keeps going and going and going. But like I said, let's get into this. So again, he one of the reasons why I believe this is also moving, other than him tweeting, because if you look at what specific stocks are moving, you got COS. Well, nobody's really out there talking about COS. But back in the day, when all these stocks started jumping, COS was involved. One of the things that I found interesting was, one second here, TD Ameritrade actually closed down on Friday. So all of their accounts were supposed to be transferred over to Charles Schwab today. Now, here's something that a huge reason why I believe all of these ran and why GameStop is skyrocketing as well. And there's things with GameStop, they can't let it get to 36. If it gets to 36, they're done. Like, I don't even know what the fuck they're going to do. We'll get into that in a second. And that's if it can, hold it for this whole week and then people start to exercise calls. But we'll get into that in a second here. So one of the things, though, if you guys remember back when this all first started, a lot of people, after Robinhood did all that stuff, people started transferring to Fidelity. A lot of people left Robinhood. A lot of people started transferring. There was mass waves of transfers, wherever they went. Well, when that happened, remember, the stock price started rising and rising and rising. And I believe at that time, because we all talked about it, those brokers are now going to need to get those shares to transfer over to the new broker. So the people that didn't actually have the shares had to go out and fill those shares or fill those obligations or make sure that they were hedged for those positions. Well, this is one of the things that I think happened is Schwab got caught. Keith Gill saw something like this and goes, all right, if I put out a tweet, it will explode. We can get Schwab while they're doing the transfers as well, because the fact that he did it literally hours before Schwab had to go out and cover all of the shares that were in TD Ameritrade. I mean, like everyone says, timing is everything. So there's things that I believe he's seeing. And on top of that, with the FOMO, the amount of people that saw that, the amount of celebrities getting involved, but we know that retail can buy and buy and buy, but without something like this also going on in the background, they can control it a lot more. Now, one of the things that I thought was interesting, well, just to show you guys a quick update on GameStop shorts. So the shorts today, actually, just from the price action alone, I already have lost $1.43 billion today. Now, as I've shown you guys over the last couple weeks, these guys are running out of lenders. They're running out of banks to go to. They're running to the shadow banks. I showed you the shadow bank usage. Now it jumped up 2.7 trillion. So basically, none of these guys can get approved for banks or a loan by a bank. So they're running to shadow banks, family offices, things like that to go ahead and open up these type of loans. Good stuff, as you guys can tell, no problems there. Well, the problem is those shadow banks are not as regulated. So again, there's going to be a time bomb from all of this as well. Well, one of the things that these guys, needed were them to be able to hold these price actions. So it's going to get very interesting here, because them taking a 1.5 billion, not being able to go out, maybe they'll be able to get a lender, maybe not. But one of the things that's very interesting is if you guys look at this as, again, just a quick update before I get into that, just so you guys, a quick fresh from memory. A lot of people today were talking about the halts, the amount of halts, and it's a complete gong show. They tell, oh, it's to protect retail. So people, no. It's to protect them, as we all know. Again, just so you guys know who's on the committee for who sets the parameters and all this halting and all of this, just so you guys know, it's BlackRock who cares about protecting retail. It's State Street who cares about protecting retail. It's Goldman Sachs, and their number one priority has always been to protect retail. Citadel Securities, obviously, you guys know how much of stand-up guys they are. I don't even have to tell you how good of people they are. They only care about retail. TD Ameritrade. Now, this is another thing that I thought was interesting. A person who's on the LUD committee's account and basically all that their bank and everything went down and needed to be transferred over to Schwab today. And then on top of that, you got good old Dougie Fresh. And let me tell you, I've never met a more stand-up guy in my life than Doug fucking Sifu, dude. Speaking of Doug Sifu, you guys got to see this just because today's a good day. It's a day to laugh. It's a day to have some fun. So, little Dougie boy, where's he at? Before we get into this a little more, you guys know I love to talk shit to Dougie. So, Dougie's out here talking about how he's having a tossed salad today for lunch. You know I got to step in right there. So I go, tossed salad from Vincent Viola is always on the menu for Doug Sifu after he gets done using his company to steal from ironworkers. So, as we know before, Vincent Viola, I've shown you guys plenty of times, he's currently in a lawsuit as well because Vincent Viola went in, basically abused their company, stole hundreds of millions from ironworkers, and when Doug Sifu found out, he went ahead and helped them. So anytime I can, I always talk shit to Dougie, so I had to bring up the ironworkers, and all he could come up with that. But like I said, guys, these dudes, the fact they're coming out, they're crying. Here comes his little boyfriend. Oh, so here comes Charles Gasbag. Gary Gensler is worried about markets being broken because of crypto, payment for order flow, or lack of corporate climate disclosure, so lack of corporate transparencies. But they don't care about GameStop flying up. Oh, so all Gasparino cares about is when retail loses. Like I said, these guys are... If you don't see the system and all this shit at this point, media, who they care for, like I said, gong show. But back to this. So one of the things that they cannot have is GameStop to sit over 36. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen this before. I'm not lying. I don't think I've ever seen this before. GameStop's entire option chain was just in the money. The entire option chain is in the money at $36. Now, it went up to $36.70, and then you just saw the drop off, and they've been able to get ahead of it, hold it down, bring it down cents. Now, maybe as I'm talking, it's biting my tongue, but as you can see, $31, it's on its way up. Halt that. We got to get a halt. For GameStop right now, they fear 36. They fear the hell out of 36. And this is why Deep Fucking Value's saying, don't stop. If you look at his last couple of tweets, he's saying, don't stop. This isn't over yet. Because again, they're in a lot of fucking trouble. If this thing hits 36, if it hold it for the week, people exercise options. I don't know if I've ever in my life seen an entire option chain go from in the money other than when these other things exploded just like that. So again, guys, this could deep fucking value, I believe, caught Charles Schwab buying all these shares. And the reason I believe that also, because again, what did deep fucking value have to do with COS? Why did COS jump up 200% at one point? That would have nothing to do with that. AMC. Now, one of the things about AMC we're going to get into here in a second after this, but like I said, right now, they're scared shitless at 36. They cannot allow it to get over 36. Now, again, I have to say I have positions in GameStop. But if we can get it to 36, I normally don't say that, but at this point, you're going to have to hedge. I mean, it's every single one. You're going to have no choice. And then on top of that, you're going to keep having FOMO and FOMO. And this is the thing. It just takes one or two or three of these people in any stock. They can have exposure everywhere that can set off bombs and set off bombs and set off bombs. Now, on top of that, just like we saw in the first run-up, when GameStop, if GameStop exploded, guess what's going to happen? A lot of people are going to jump into AMC. They're going to see it's a lot cheaper, just like they did the first time. History repeats itself. Now, I believe AMC is a lot more shorted. There's 57 million shares shorted currently for AMC. And that's just what they disclose. We're at like 21%. GameStop's at 21% shorted. Bombs everywhere for these fucking piles of shit. So like I said, in GameStop, dude, definitely riding this wave. Now, going over to AMC, fucking Doug Ziva. One more thing though, before I get off GameStop, because this does affect GameStop people. Because you guys are the ones that have been pushing GameStop, and anytime I talk about this, you guys completely call me a shill, try and cram it down my throat. Oh my god, it's the greatest thing ever. But then you guys tried it years ago, and it didn't do it didn't do what it was supposed to do. One of the problems and one of the things I have said about computer share forever. And all these people will be like, yeah, well, I'm throwing 10%. Okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Those will be your forever shares. Okay, then we're agreeing those are your forever shares. But if you want to actually have shares to sell, computer share it mentions in there over and over, we are not a broker. During giant volatile times, we will experience crashes. You might not be able to sell. It may take long time to sell to the point where your order's not going to get filled. There is a lot of downside with computer share. So all I have said over and over today, once again, they have a volatile situation today in GameStop, and they got shut down. They have told people this over and over and over. We're not a broker. We're not made for that. We're made to store your shares. So I just want people to be safe, because we're here to learn. I don't care if you're holding GameStop. I don't care if you're holding AMC. If you're here for a squeeze and you put 100% of your shares in there, I really fear for you and your ability to sell anything during that time. I just want you guys to be aware. That is the only thing I've ever complained about with GameStop or DRS. Because if you DRS, this is going to happen, or your orders will not get filled. All these people are like, well, I sell my shares whenever I want on DRS. Yeah, you do it when it's not volatile. You do it on a normal average day. So congratulations. It says you can do that, but it says during volatile times, don't expect to be able to do that. And that's all I'm saying. So if you want to keep 10% in there, and everybody, we want to lock that float up that way, do it. Great. But if you want shares to sell during run-ups or squeezes or anything like that, you need to have it in a different location. And I know people be like, well, they could shut the buy button off and all this, but you could still sell during those times at least. Computer share will just be down. Or it literally will just give you the errors that the networks, like I said, their network's not made to handle this. But moving on. Like I said, I just want everyone to be safe, guys. I don't care what stock you have. I'm glad. Like I said, if you guys, I'm in GameStop now too, so my knowledge will go to all you guys as well. So if you disagree with me, well, show me I'm incorrect, because I can show you. I'll go ahead and pull you up their computer share documents, all of their stuff, because I've shown people this many times. Now, moving on. So for AMC, so GameStop, like I said, it's FOMO, the deep fucking value effect. On top of that, Schwab got caught with their pants down. Fuck them. Now with AMC, I believe you got the same exact type situation going on. You had Zach Morris. I don't know if you guys know who Zach Morris is. He did this 4 days ago. The same exact tweet that Roaring Kitty did, but his was colored blue. Now, one of the things, Zach Morris was in that group. They had a court case against them for being influencers, pumpers, or whatever of stocks that ended up getting dropped. So everybody that wants to complain about Zach Morris, the case got dropped. So I mean, I don't complain about people that didn't get charged with crimes, but he tweeted this exact same thing. Again, it could have been another. Hey, if everybody jumps into AMC, we catch Charles Schwab with their pants down. So, sorry, one of the things here. So with AMC here, one of the things I wanted to go over quick. Where's my little calculator? So with AMC, over the past year, every time we've gone about 305 to 310, we've done dilution. And every time I've said that, people are getting all mad at me. And I'm like, you guys, just plan accordingly. You don't have to get mad about the information. It's fact, because we could show you at the time when the 10Ks came out, hey, this is what they were doing. This is exactly what they were doing. And then earnings came out, and earnings said the exact same thing. We're doing it this way. They're doing a 10%, around 10% dilution of the volume a day until they can go ahead and hit their 250 million. Well, we were at 120 million for sold. Now, AMC right now, one second, what are we at? Volume right now is at 30.4 million. Now, if AMC, I've been watching the price, and I've been watching the spikes, and I've been watching the volume candles, and I've been averaging it down on the downward trends and on the selling pressure. And right now I have AMC selling it for about 401 to 402. So right now, AMC, if we look at it, will be at 30. So right now we'd be at about 30.4 million shares times 402. AMC today is completed with dilution. I feel 100% confident saying that. AMC today finished their dilution. It's 120, so we still have plenty of time in the market we're still missing I don't know. What is it, 3 million or something stupid? We're still missing 2-3 million shares, but dollars. But obviously we're going to make that easily, even if we keep diluting 10% throughout the rest of the day, because it's at 466. Now, in the next hour, you'll be done with dilution. I feel 100% confident saying in the next hour we will be done with dilution, and AMC can finally start getting its price action back. Now, like I was saying earlier, people that were getting pissed because I'm like, we're going to keep diluting and AMC is going to stick around 295, and that's perfect buying opportunities until 320 around there, and it's going to keep doing that for a while until we can get our numbers. Now today, with the amount of volume that we got, this is huge, because instead of it prolonging for another week, 2 weeks of this shit, it's over with. I don't believe you're going to see this anymore at all. Now you're going to start to be able to see AMC's price recovering. Now, one of the things that's great to see is you're seeing enough buying with us selling. So we're buying pressures out doing sell volume, which is huge, because the price is, what are we at, 64% right now? You're up 64% while you're diluting. Usually it's dropping while you're diluting. So AMC, again, we got FOMO coming in. I believe you have TD, Ameritrade, Schwab. I believe Schwab is getting hammered today. I believe they have to go out and buy all of these AMC shares that were in TD Ameritrade. Again, their accounts closing and then them in getting all of this right before the CAT system. You guys, they can't fuck around. It's right before the CAT system. The CAT system's coming. They can't fuck around. It's in 18 days. It's not like they get it and go, well, we just won't buy the shares anymore. We're just not going to cover. We're not going to hedge ourselves. We're not going to worry about getting the collateral. We're not going to worry about doing any of this. We're just going to let it go like we did in the past. No, when the CAT system comes, they're going to need to show all this stuff. And then they're going to need to show when they trade those shares that they say they have. So they're going to need to show all that, and it's going to be needed to be updated correctly in the CAT system. And I guarantee they've already sent the data over. The SEC knows the information. And that is what's key with the CAT system, is they needed to send that information over before it goes fully up and running and it's funded. Because right now, that is the problem, is it's up, it's running, but it's not currently funded. What they're trying to settle is them funding the program. It's like, well, what the hell? That shouldn't even be a question. The regulators, they should say, we need this for this, and you guys got to fucking do it if you want to participate in the market. But nope, they're sitting there continuously suing them and delaying it and trying to do any and every stall tactic ever. But again, this is what I believe is happening. You had TD get or Schwab get caught with their pants down right now. So AMC, if they wouldn't have finished doing all of their dilution, I 100% believe AMC would have hit $6. You would have seen a giant spike. It would have went flying up, and then you could have got more FOMO in. But again, this is just as good. You have finished dilution in one day, and it's only 10% of volume, and we've done that every single day since the announcement. Ever since the announcement, since the announcement of the offering. So me to say that is literally on par. It's not like it's crazy. It's not like it's questionable. It's what they have done since they've announced the ATM program. So again, AMC finished their offering today. You can now start to see some spikes. And what's key with AMC now is all of those new shares. You're seeing them obviously be bought up. They're accounted for. They're going to be held. We're good to go. You should start seeing price action again with AMC and recovery. On top of that, the box office is going to start to recover, as we went over. Garfield, I told you guys about Garfield. Garfield's going to explode. I know a lot of people thought, the Fall Guy was going to be the big one. I was like, no, it's not going to be that one. It's going to be fucking Garfield. It's just like a Barbie situation. When you're in Barbie hit, women of all ages, children, moms, everyone's had a Barbie. Garfield's the same thing. Everybody's grown up with Garfield. Kids, adults, teenagers, everybody knows who Garfield is. Everybody. So this is the type of thing that's going to explode because parents are going to want to see it. Kids are going to want to see it. So I believe these are the type, I always tell you guys, the children's movies are the things that are the biggest for AMC. Because not only do the kids come there, the kids want to get their candy, they want to get their treats, they want to get the toys, they want to get the merchandise, and that's where AMC thrives. So these are the types of movies that you want to see for AMC. And like I said, this is the one that I expected for domestic box office. This is the one I expect to break over 200 million. It's just done a select little preview showings in some international markets. And in those select international markets, it's already made $36 million. The movie was only 60 million, so it's already basically made its budget doing a select preview in a couple markets. So again, guys, this movie should kill it. Planet of the Apes is done. It had the biggest opening of its franchise, so this is sweet. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen this movie, this is the movie. Guys, go see this movie. If you want to talk about we're apes, you want to talk about taking a stand, making a mark, make this one right here. Go see Planet of the Apes. Like I said, guys, at this point, we did our dilution. The way that we can go ahead and start getting our price back up, it's fundamentals. Stop burning cash. That means if you're starting to get profitable, again, we no longer need any type of offering. You should start getting profitable. And as we've seen, it's taking less and less and less and less at the box office for us to get there. So I still think we should have a huge quarter this quarter. And one second. And then another thing that we're doing, again, this is one thing I did want to show everybody. So we've opened 60 theaters, or we've bought or opened 60, and we've closed 169. So we've closed 109 of those theaters more than we've opened, and those 60 theaters are outperforming 169 that we've closed. This is what we need to keep doing. And again, in 2025, AMC should be very, very profitable. I believe we'll be profitable again at the end of this year. Another thing that they announced was 28 years later, that old zombie film is going to be coming out also in 2025. The Batman will also be out in 2026. So again, 2026 is insanity on movies. That will be the best box office in a long time. Again, you got Star Wars, Batman, Super Mario Brothers, tons of. I can keep going. I have to pull the list up, but it's box office smashers each time. 2025, they said they expect to be profitable every single quarter. Now, one of the things I did want to show people, this was, Tony brought this up, because a lot of these people that just hate Adam Aaron, they just will vote no matter what. If the company, they just hate the board. One of the things that I did think was interesting that he showed, because it was the same exact proposals as it was the last time, so I didn't really go super into it. But obviously Tony went into it, so I want to show him the credit for it. But one of the things that he did say about proposal number 8, if we do not approve proposal number 8, instead of them getting shares, they will get bonuses of cash payment. Now, that's a big difference between paying out cash payments that comes out of the out of the books, out of the balance sheet, compared to investing them shares, which AMC is not currently paying at that exact moment. On top of that, obviously, if you're getting shares, you're aligning your board more with your shareholders and the company, because the more the company makes, the stock goes up. That's the more their shares and their value goes up as well. So it aligns interest as well. So that is one more thing I did want to show everybody with proposal 8. With proposal 8 there. So if we do not approve them getting shares, they will get it through cash payment, which will come out of the balance sheet. Let's see here. Oh yeah, so streaming services, the things that we're going to, everybody get away from cable, and we're going to kill theaters. But as you guys are seeing, these streaming services are losing billions and billions. And now what are they doing? This is when you know that they're in a lot of trouble. They're literally all bundling together, and they're basically making cable all over again. Disney, Warner Brothers, Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max are now coming out with a streaming bundle where they'll all be bundled together. So basically, every single one of their competitors are basically just joining together, other than Netflix. If that's not a sign of trouble, I don't know what it is for these guys. How many fake shares is this dilution let out? What the hell are we at for the float? So if we added, 30 more million right now, we'll be done. I believe, so we'll have 324 million shares after this for the float. And yeah, at this point, what are we at? What's the volume? Let me pull it up. I didn't look at the volume there. The volume there, what are we at? 315 million. See, this is where we're at now. Now you're going to start to get FOMO. So now you're going to get more retail piling in. AMC's cheap as fuck. And a lot of these people are going to look over and go, all right, we got the two meme stocks going on. AMC's, in my eyes, completely undervalued. They're going to see the short interest. A lot of people are going to say, hey, it blew up just like GameStop back then. So again, now you're going to get FOMO. You're going to get people buying in, and now you have no more dilution coming. So you have less and less and less selling pressure. Again, AMC's, in my eyes, at this point, should start to recover and recover and recover. So hopefully you guys, like I said, over the last week, hopefully you guys bought in at $2.99, $2.95, $3, $3.10, right around that range. If you did, you're feeling really good today. Let's see where we get to. It's going to be interesting. What are we up to? We're up to 490 right now. Let's go. So, like I said, dilution's done. AMC, just by doing math, just by looking at the history and everything, again, guys, dilution for AMC is completed today. So, it's going to start to be very interesting to see where this goes. And on top of that, you're going to start seeing a ton of these options going into play. Let's go. Like I said, let's go. I was waiting for this dilution to get done, and I believe it's completely done today. With the amount of volume, like I said, even the 10% rule that they've been doing, dilution's over. Let's go. All right. Now, one of the things that I want to show you guys. So with the CAT system, the thing that they're trying to say right now, oh, your guys' information, and I showed you, how it's stored and everything with the customer ID and the broker ID and things like that. So it's not what they're trying to make it out to be. Well, one of the things that I thought was pretty funny that you guys had, this is why these guys are such a fucking joke. These guys that are preaching, oh, your privacy is at risk, your data's at risk, your personal information is at risk, right? This is what their argument is. And JPMorgan Chase is the head fighting the SEC on this, on the CAT system. JPMorgan Chase suffers data breach affecting personal information of 451,000 plus customers. 500,000 people's personal information was breached by the same people that are whining about the CAT system potentially being able to be breached. But they don't seem to give a fuck about the 500,000 people that just went ahead and no big deal. So they're getting, what are we going to do about you guys? Your data's getting breached. Should we shut you down? On top of it, it gets even funnier. Now look at this. JPMorgan Chase. I showed you guys this last month. So the same guys that are whining about the CAT system data. JPMorgan Chase enters the media industry and plans to sell customer data from 80 million accounts. It's going to tell them who and what you bought. So all your personal information, your name, what items you're buying, your age. Well, I don't know if they have your age, I guess. I don't know if the bank has your age. I don't know if they get your age, but they'll know your name, obviously your gender. They're going to know your purchase history, your main things that you purchase on. And then by the media company buying that information, they're now going to be able to sell you targeted ads to what you buy. They're only going to sell you ads to what you buy, and they're going to give them your name and your purchase history. And these are the same guys that are whining that the CAT system gives out personal information. So they're getting hacked, and they're just selling it if they don't get hacked. Your guys' personal information in the CAT system is at risk. So, what's happening? Their game is it's fucking crashing. It's crumbling down. I told you how scared of the endgame rules that they are. And you know what's happening? The banking committee is not budging. They're not budging at all. So, what's that doing? This is what criminals do. When criminals do not get their way, what do? They hire somebody to create what? A fake story about you, a news story about you, to get you removed. Now, what do I mean by that? The endgame rules, they're not budging on them, and these could collapse the banks. So, they're going after the chair of the FDIC. The mega banks paid somebody to do a an independent report. I'm going to say that again. The mega banks paid somebody to do a independent report about the FDIC chairman and how the FDIC is ran. This report that the mega banks paid for comes back, and it says that it's a giant sex pool of sexual harassment, and it's a giant sex pool, and women are just downgraded, mistreated, they get sexually harassed daily. It's horrendous out there. It's one of the worst working environments in the world. Crazy. There's 108 times there was sexual harassment and misconduct. Okay. So the guy that's upholding the endgame rules pissed off the bankers. The bankers go out, they hire somebody who has now released an independent review of sexual harassment of the same guy who is saying no to them. They're trying to get him replaced, just like they want to do with Gensler. So when these guys cannot beat you, or cannot intimidate you, or they cannot buy you, they slander your name, they make media reports about you, and they try to get you to lose your job. Now, I want you guys, I'm going to post this link here in chat for you. I post that in the chat for you guys, okay? So what they do is, all right, well, we'll take you down this way. Now, it talks about these same banks that hired these guys. The FDIC ended up having a meeting with Paul and all this stuff. The same guys that the FDIC pushed for to get a mega bailout of $16 trillion in the 2008 crisis is now their number one target after he's no longer bailing them out. So it says, those mega banks have now banded together to stop the FDIC, the Federal Reserve, and the Office of Comptroller. So right now, they went after the FDIC. Over the next 2 weeks, because I'd like to tell you guys what to expect, over the next couple weeks here, you're going to see Jamie Dimon and another article come out about some kind of misconduct going on at the Comptroller of Currency's office. Or they're going to come out blasting the Federal Reserve. Because right now, the mega banks are trying to take down the people that will not bend on the endgame rules. Because like I have been telling you guys, the endgame rules are the end of these banks, and everything else that's going on right now around us and the way that the economy is heading towards, the banks are already dying off regardless. Once again, Jamie Dimon is at the center of all this. The people that hired the reporter was JPMorgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Bank of America, and Morgan Stanley. No big deal. This talks about, if you keep going in, like I've told you guys before, talks about how 3 Wall Street mega banks hold $157.3 trillion in derivatives. That's 56.7 trillion more than the entire world's GDP. 3 banks hold $157.3 trillion in derivatives. That's 56.7 trillion more than the entire world's GDP. What? What's AMC at right now? People talking 510? 510. And this is my point. Like I said, I could see us going to 5. I said 650 is what I can see us getting to in the next, by tomorrow. I can see, like I said, dilution's done, guys. Dilution is done. I'm 1,000%, like I said, 1,000% confident, even just doing the 10% rule. If you're an AMC, you made it through dilution. If you bought at the bottom, it's just like I was telling you, guys, buy it, ape at 99 or 77 cents, 80 cents. I was like screaming from the rooftop. This is when you get it. Like I said, huge way to that was a huge way I averaged down, was buying ape at 88 cents. 80 cents. Do you know how much I was able to buy at 80 cents? Now, one of the things I wanted to show you guys, this is another article from CNN. It talks about the endgame rules, and it talks about those bankers, and it talks about how all of these bankers, and it talks about the specific ones. It talks about how they're specifically going after this guy just because of the endgame rules. He knows he's the one who basically approves it all. So the guy that approves all the changes is saying no. The guy that they came up and they're like, these are the changes we want, and he says, nope, I'm not doing them. And then the next, now suddenly there's a sex scandal in his office. This guy voted against it. Now he has a sex scandal. Now it says, if they end up getting him departed, if they end up getting him out of there, this would be a positive for the bigger banks, and they would be able to get in the person that they want. And guess what he's going to do? Oh yeah, he's going to vote in the new changes for the endgame rule. So what they're doing, again, they're getting rid of the guy that's telling them no with a new sexual allegation of harassment, and he's running amok. Now, let me look here. Everyone in AMC, let's go. 531. We're up 82%. Now, again, everybody, we finished dilution. If we wouldn't have diluted today, you would have, I told you guys I thought about $6, $7. We would have been at $7 today. But we're right where like I said, we're looking great. Dilution is finished today. Just by your 10% history rule. AMC, nothing but positive things going on. Let's fucking go. Now, fuck it, I'm buying more right now. All right, got another $200 worth. We're gonna keep it going. I don't want to get too crazy yet because I do want to play some other things here but oh my god, let's go, guys. Let's fucking go. But again, dilution is done. Box office should be returning. We got new revenue streams. Again, cost cutting. Now, again, one of the things a lot of people were talking about, where'd the cash burn go? Deferred rent, I believe, should be pretty much paid off. Now, deferred rent, everybody, was around $25 to $30 million a quarter. That was what you were paying on your debt. So AMC going forward, the deferred rent should be gone. Otherwise, we have about $16 million to $20 million left, which is one more quarter. So again, the credit facility's paid off. The deferred rent is paid off. That's $40 million in cash burn alone that we won't have. All the box office comes back. Like I said, it's looking great for AMC. People are going to, once again, like I said, they're going to see it's $5. It's $5, or I could go over to, what's GameStop right now? Hopefully GameStop's at like 40. Like I said, I want GameStop to, like I said, I'm in GameStop at this point too. I want GameStop to fly. I'm still back in the green again. Real green again. So we're feeling good. All around. Like all around good day today. This is a sweet day today. It's a very sweet day today. Very sweet day today. I mean, I almost feel as good as when I made that Coinbase. That Coinbase trade was one of my biggest trades ever. Like I said, it went up $112 in 2 days after. Oh my god, that was sweet. But it's been a sweet day. Let's go, boys and girls. Let's go, boys and girls. But back to more of the corruption, more of the system here. Nah, we still running. 542 now for AMC. Let's go. See, let me do some. I was gonna maybe pull. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to pull up charts. I always say I'll never chart in front of people. No one's here for my charting, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just keep going. JPMorgan here. So one of the things I was laughing about with JPMorgan and all these guys, and I was talking about, everybody, if you want to get into crypto is a great way to go right now. My number one recommendation has been gold. I believe gold will see a giant spike here very, very soon. You're going to see some of these fiat currencies have a lot more hit on them before it goes up. But right now, if you're looking at the way that these banks are buying, gold is going to be a very safe place. Very safe place. And it's going to be a very good hedge against inflation. Now, one of the things, I don't want to get into that. I'll go on to it for about 40 minutes here. So one of the things going on right now is the government said that they're going to slow down their debt roll-off. And what that's going to do is basically they're going to shift where their money's going. And instead of, paying it through treasuries in this, they're going to pay it with freshly new printed money. Now, with them rolling it off silently, what this does is it lowers interest rates on the loans that they'll give to Wall Street. But at the same time, they're now going to be printing $420 billion more a year that it's going to be at our expenses. I'm going to break that down way more in my next video. I didn't want to get into that, but right now the government's doing some super fucking shady shit that we're going to go over next video. But back to this. So like I said, Bitcoin, all this stuff. Now, one of the things that I told you guys, what they're going to do with Bitcoin, the smartest way to play it right now is going to be volatility, because it's going to be so volatile. Because one of the things a lot of people are going, well, it's going to keep going up. No, it's not going to keep going up yet. One of the things that's going to happen with Bitcoin, and it's been happening, is these guys need to average down in their ETF custodial accounts. They need to get the averages down. So they're going to write it up, write it down, write it up, write it down, and they're going to keep averaging down. So right now, Bitcoin is going to be volatile for a little while, but then it's the best way to play it. But all these guys that are talking about, Bitcoin's it's only used for sex trafficking, money laundering, criminal activities, all this crap. All the guys committing those exact same crimes, like JPMorgan, as we went over, they have 274. Now, I went and looked yesterday, they now have 277. So JPMorgan signed 3 more acceptance waiver and consents since my last video. JPMorgan is going to break 300 felony crimes by the end of the year. And nobody will have gone to jail for a single one of them. Again, if you've never listened to my show, there is a thing out there, and it's called an acceptance waiver and consent. What this does is it means that they do not have to admit guilt, but they will pay a fine so that the SEC or FINRA does not go through their data. And what FINRA says is, well, you're saving us time and money, so what we'll do is charge you a fine. Does this sound familiar? We're going to charge you a fine for less than the amount that you stole. You're not going to admit guilt, because if you admit guilt, then we have to charge you criminally. So what we're going to do is have you sign an acceptance waiver and consent. After you sign this and you pay the fine, you can no longer go to criminal court for this offense. Yay, SEC. Yay, FINRA. Now, I've told you guys forever now, the reason that there are regulators out there, it's not to give us the illusion that regulators' purpose, yes, it's to give the illusion that there's regulation and law out there, which we already know there's not. But that's the secondary. The main and primary focus of these regulators is to keep these guys out of criminal court. Because the second they can charge them on smaller crimes and they can't get charged later for those crimes because they signed an acceptance waiver and consent, that's double jeopardy. There you go. So their main job is to
hey, we'll, on the big crimes, we'll catch you, but we'll keep you out of criminal court by putting it into regulatory court. Does that make sense? That's why these fucking regulators are all fucking trash, and they're all ex-workers at these companies. It's a fucking joke. But one of the things that I thought was very interesting. So currently, right now, I know you guys all know about the short selling ban over in South Korea. Now, if you don't, they ended up issuing a short selling ban in their entire country's stock market. You can't do naked shorting, all of this. What they ended up doing is they found that 9 out of the 14 global banks that are invested in them were doing naked short selling. It ended up being worth around 211.2 billion won, which is $157 million. Now, when you come down here, one of the things it actually talks about here is, where is it? Oh, I must have passed it. 1 second. Hold on. Damn it. Here we go. All right. So one of the things that this thing talks about is how their government wants to make a new computerized system that will catch this the second it happens. So they won't literally be able to do naked selling. It's not possible. One of the ways that it talks about it is it comes down here and it talks about filtering these things out. Now, I wanted to bring this to everybody's attention because if they wanted to stop this, they can. One of the ways that they can do it here is the first step in the process involves computerizing all process information. Now, this would be like the CAT system. You bring it into a centralized system. Okay, so you go. You bring it into a centralized type system. Okay, so, wait, what the hell? 1 second, I reread this wrong. The second step's apparently bringing it into the system. First step is process of all computers. So the first order, I guess, is to process all orders, blocking unleveraged short selling orders, and then the second is to put it all in a centralized system. This will take about a year to complete, and then on top of that, they'll have the monitoring technology. Well, a lot of people are asking me, do I think this will ever come in the United States? Well, the problem with this is, one, even if our regulators wanted it to come over, because we'll have the CAT system, you already have the second part in place. You already have your centralized system for the ordering. Will they ever do the first system to start it, and then from there build and design the thing? I don't think so. Even if they do, South Korea said that they're going to take a year to develop the system, so that means the United States will take, a year to develop it, just because we'll take our sweet time. And on top of it, it'll be a year or two to implement, get passed, voted on, all that crap. So it's like, but do I think this will ever come over here? No. But this just goes to show you that they can make the technology to stop this in its tracks if they care to. So it just shows you, again, how much of a joke our regulatory system is, because, again, they just put this in a couple months ago, and next thing you notice, they're like, hey, in the next year we'll be able to 100% stop this. 100%. Why is that happening? So if you're in Minnesota, listen to me. We need to vote Tom Emmer out. I'm in Minnesota. He's got to go. He's a fucking corrupt pile of shit. He's garbage. He's got to go. He just cares about big money. He takes bribes. He was in the FTX fiasco. He is a pile of human shit. Just a waste of space. Just a fucking loser. Now, I don't tell people how to vote politicians, but this fucking guy's got to go. If you're in Minnesota with me, he's got to go, guys. He's got to fucking go. So this guy who voted against market transparency, he said it's stupid. Don't need it. This is what he says the other day. Gary Gensler's SEC needs significant reform. I was proud to co-sponsor 3 pieces of litigation. Of course you were, because you're a douchebag. Number 1, improve its process for drafting and adopting regulations. Number 2 is where it gets funny. We need to increase SEC transparency to Congress. So you need more insight into the SEC, but we don't need more insight into the stock market. Hey, Tom Emmer, tell me you're not getting paid off, you fucking pile of fucking trash. Oh, wait, you are. And then we need to improve their cybersecurity because the CAT system. Oh, you're another one of the CAT system losers that says the CAT system information is at risk. Hey, Tom Emmer, guess what? JPMorgan, again, all their system is not only at risk, they sell it. All right, 1 second here. Now let me read some of these chats. I haven't feel like I haven't even looked at the chat today. I've been on one hard. Let's see what people are talking about. You chart on a good day, man. We want to see. Nah, dude, I don't want to start charting, man. I always made fun of the charters. I mean, I got all my shit pulled up, but then I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to. I can tell you where I think it'll go, I guess. Before we definitely have a slowdown. No, I don't even want to do that because last time I did that, people played call options like fucking crazy, and I don't want people just jumping in call options. I think we have room to run. Let me just say that I see room to run for AMC still, definitely. One question: if one holds long and short positions, when one settles, can you choose from what position? If one holds long and short positions. Well, yeah. Can you sell? Of course, you can pick. Should be able to sell, and then you go to shares. Smash the like to support the channel. Thank you, my friend. I always appreciate it. Pam, how are you doing, Pam? Miss you. I haven't talked to you for a while. You're good. I just figured I'd go live today. I mean, how do we not talk about AMC and GME today? What do we got going on with GME? Let me pull this up quick. Let me pull this one up quick. Feeling good, feeling good. GME right now. Is it fucking... No, it's not halted. GME right now is at 30.94. You're up 76%. Like I said, guys, if you are in GameStop and you are listening, they do not want it to hit 36. At $36, every single option in the entire option chain is in the money. At $36, all GameStop options were in the money. If people start exercising those, like I said, you could see some nasty shit going on over in GameStop. Oh, you've never sold before? Okay. I thought you were trying to like give me a trickery question. Sorry, I was like I was like, what do you mean, man? I thought you were talking about maybe like a cover call or something like. Alrighty, come on, Martin. Yeah, and that's the thing, and this is one of the things. It's like, this is the worst timing for these guys. Like I said, they're running to the shadow banks, lending's drying up. As soon as lending starts drying up, they're now dead. They're right in a lot of these positions, like they said, even on GameStop alone. GameStop alone, they're at 40 or minus $1.4 billion. Shorts are going to be squeezed big time. Like I said, I don't usually like this IHOR guy, but he does give out, the math behind the reported data. So that's why I follow him, because he does give out the reported actual data, the math behind it all. So right now, AMC has 55.85 million shares shorted. He's got it at 19% of the float. Just today alone. So as the price has skyrocketed, you guys, IHOR is saying we've seen 6.2 million new shares shorted. Oh, that's over the last 30 days. Sorry, I should have read the whole thing. Plus today's 24% movement. So shorts are at negative 40 million on the move today. What time was that at? So you're at negative 40 million on shorts with AMC. You're at negative 1.45 billion on shorts today on GameStop. Shorts are not having a good day. They're out 1.6 billion. I don't even know. Let me look at COS. Like I said, the fact that COS was the one that got jumped up with the rest of them. What's COS doing? Pull this shit up. So COS is still up $1.15. It was up way higher. COS went up like, at one point it was up like fucking retarded. It was up to like $6 or something. I can't remember. I can pull them all up. But that's what I'm saying. The second that COS, AMC, and GME, that's somebody buying, or it's something hitting one of the meme stock, or a basket, or an ETF. So like I said, the Charles Schwab thing, it explains everything. The fact that TD Ameritrade closed down on Friday and then today everything switched over, that means Schwab had to go out and buy all these. So like I said, I 100% believe Deep Fucking Value caught Schwab with their pants down and he spanked their ass because he knew, hey, one tweet of mine. Because one of the reasons why I think that too is if you look at one of the videos he put up, where the hell is it? Is it this one? I can't remember if it's this one. No. This one. It starts out and it goes, fine, I'll do it myself. And that's exactly what he did. He went out, he goes, my tweet alone can catch these guys with their pants down, and that's exactly what it did. Fuck him. Yeah, but if you guys don't have his thing, like I said, look, he's tweeting by the hour. I mean, the guy hasn't tweeted in years, and he's tweeting by the hour, so he just put up another one. So, can't stop, won't stop. So in one day so far, we've costed the shorts 1.6 billion, and that doesn't even count what cost costed them too. So they're down like 1.8 billion dollars today. No big deal. And AMC, we're at 558. We're up 91%. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go, guys. It's just, a lot of people, if you're out there going to complain, well, we're still down. Well, you know what, dude? You're also up compared to what you were. So you got to enjoy it. You cannot just be salty every day. You got to enjoy it. I know a lot of people are down still a lot of money, and we'll get there. We are definitely going to get there. AMC just jumped up 11 cents on one order. AMC is at 564. Nice little spike, little buy volume. So guys, I still see quite a bit of movement here for AMC. Let's fucking go, dude. And again, Zach Morris, the fact that he did it, another reason other than the fact that I just showed you about why I think it was the Schwab, is also the fact that Zach Morris caught him down, did the same exact tweet 4 days ago with just a different colored chair. And here's the thing. Blue chair. Where's Roaring Kitties? Roaring Kitty did a red chair, and blue and red make green. Let's go. Clove. I don't think I've really been in Clove. My brother's just out of control today. All right, 1 second here. So once again, red, blue, make green. Schwab, I believe, got smacked. If you're in Schwab, get the fuck out of Schwab. And I truly believe, guys, that doing these mass transfers of shares is something. Just with watching today too. Doing these transfer of shares could be something where else, and I don't want to suddenly, everyone, we got to trade, stuff again, because who the fuck wants to keep doing that, especially when you're getting movements. But I'm just saying, like, I do believe that truly has an effect when these brokers move over, and then they actually have to go out and cover those shares that they need to have. Because like I said, this CAT system's coming live. They can't fuck around anymore. And this is what I've been talking about with this CAT system and why it's so big for us all, and why they have been fighting it tooth and fist. Where are we at? Oh, yeah, right here. So another reason, you guys, like I was telling you guys about, buying gold, buying land, silver, crypto, getting away from the dollar to hedge it, buying meme stocks. I was telling you guys, for a while, get these meme stocks lower at these lower prices because they're still shorting it. They're doing the same thing. History is repeating itself, and they're just hoping that the Fed, kind of goes away. And guess what? Again, they're all going to get caught with their pants down. Once again, short sellers today lost $1.8 billion. If you just tuned in, we're feeling great. Now, one of the reasons why I told you guys to go get gold, and for if you're going to try to hedge against the dollar, which I still believe is always the safest way to go. World central banks have bought up $24 billion in gold in 3 months. So these bankers are out there just fucking hoarding this stuff. On top of that, if you look at the Costco reports, people are just buying it like crazy. So, like I always say, physical gold, like I said, guys, I still see us into the $6-7 in between range. We're still feeling good. We're getting up to 563. So we're slowly moving up, still moving up, still. I'm just going to tweet it because let's fucking go, first of all. Let's go. It's nice to have some fun on some green days. It's nice to have some fun on some green days, too. Don't always gotta be crabby. But we do always gotta expose criminality. So, like I said, guys, they're trying to get the FDIC overthrown to get these endgame rules out. If they can't get this FDIC chair removed, they're gonna be fucked. People are seeing that. They're seeing the economy's going down. I don't know if you guys saw the report that we're actually back to 4 to 5% inflation. So inflation is actually skyrocketing. People that thought a rate cut was coming even close to this time or next year, you're wrong. Sorry, it's still not coming. It's just going to go. If anything, they need a rate hike or they need to stimulate the economy and do something to where middle class can create more supply. Because again, at this point, the way they do it is, all right, we'll make it so expensive, supply can build up, and then we can lower the cost when supply builds back up. But the problem is they've raised it all. Supply's not building back up because you're killing your middle class. So your prices are going up and your supply is dropping. So there's no way they're going to be able to fix it at this rate. So again, this is why I say get into these type of commodities that will hold their value. And again, we are talking about devaluing the dollar some more when we just did that reduced roll-off. Again, that's going to equal 420 billion more of freshly printed money annually, devaluing the dollar. Now we'll get more into that again. Like I said, next time. I don't have a whole bunch more time here, but again, guys, gold is another spot to check out crypto. But sitting in a bank right now is not the answer. If you have money in a ton, thousands sitting in a checking account, unless it's, in a super small bank and you're getting very good interest, there's so many other places out there, you guys, safer, better places where you'll gain more and even just interest. So, like I said, guys, just be careful out there like always. But one of the things that I found funny, so like I just talked to you guys about with inflation, it's back up to 4 to 5%. Now, this is something I didn't know, so anytime I learn something, I like to share with you guys. Apparently, there is something out there that if the feds hold inflation up, the longer, the more inflation is, so we're back up to 4 to 5%, the feds actually get paid from the Treasury for inflation. It's called inflation compensation. So the Fed actually get paid for inflation, and the higher it is, the more the Treasury pays the feds. That's a fucking joke. The feds got paid $685 million worth last week. So they create inflation, they get paid for inflation, and then they tell us they're going to fix it.
my god. It's like never ending with these fucking piles of trash. Now, this is something I really wanted to show everybody because I've been saying this forever and I've been talking about how this is 2008 on steroids, even worse. Look at this. So in 2000, this shows you all the bank lending programs. So this is how much the feds are now bailing out the banks. This is the credit facilities, you know, the discount window, the secondary discount window, you know, all the Fed lending programs for these banks, okay? In 2008, at the time of the big crisis, look how much the feds loaned them. Then COVID happened, and then all of a sudden, look right around 2023. Fed discount window, all this. Boom, it went flying up. But look at where we're at now. And on top of that, I want you to remember, I showed you guys $28.7 billion has defaulted in the bank lending program. But you're twice as high now. So again, guys, when this goes down, it's going to go down hard, way harder than it did in 2008. But looks like the wifey's up, guys. I'm going to get going. I'm going to make a video either tomorrow or the next day because I do want to get into all those things I wanted to show you. I just didn't have time to do a super deep dive into a lot of this, but I did want to come celebrate with everybody because, again, AMC finished dilution. Let's go. We're running. But thank you guys. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you guys soon.